I'm waiting for the number. Okay. This is Positive Vibes Enterprise. I am Tom Goodwin, and this is Michelle Ronquillo.
Hello, everybody.
And our subject today has to do with the physical spiritual connection. And a lot of what I've been doing over the last 30 years has in developing meditative walking techniques and my dumbbell swing exercise is strengthening my physical spiritual connection so I'll be more effective at making things happen in this physical world. And in the process of developing the training techniques I've developed, I had to change my theories in order to handle them. So I had to have really tough theories that emphasized the importance of this physical world in dealing with the struggle and the challenges and the difficulty this physical world has presents to people. So in other words, I don't develop virtue theory just for the fun of it. I develop it for a very practical reason because I want to make a difference in this world. We can change this world. We can make this world a better world. But we have to be grounded in the physical and have that connection with the physical that enables us to create change in a resistant physical world.
Yes, it's very important if you are going through any kind of struggle spiritually, you feel stuck, anything that stops you from progressing. You need to literally ground. You need to grab your strength and you need to find the ways to push forward into a physical type of connection, new exercises, new breathing techniques, new habits, new ways of thinking, anything that you can push yourself into the thrust of literally changing.
And one of the keys is we have to feel a sense of empowerment. We have so often the spiritual beliefs of the past have made us sort of like helpless, not able to do much. And what we have to understand is we are the ones responsible for the conditions on this physical earth that we exist in. You can't blame it on God. You have to accept responsibility that we're on the ground here and we are responsible. And we are the ones that have to do the type of meditative techniques to be more effective spiritually in this world. We have to make the effort. We have to do the work. Um, God is going to do God's part, which has to do with providing for a unified reality that we can work in. Um, Without God, the universe couldn't exist, so it would be pointless to, we wouldn't exist either.
Exactly. And you must do your part. You got to do the actions. And that's really what we're talking about here is that the physical and spiritual actions that it takes for change, for movement, for motivation, for training, anything and everything that push and drive it takes, that energy is literally saying that you're not going to give an excuse another day of why you're not going to do something. You're going to get it done. You're going to get the habits into the positive, healthy direction of your thriving, your spiritual intensity.
And one of the things is that the spiritual is powered by emotions, and emotions are created in the human body biologically, with the brain directing that development. And there are parts of the brain that create the passion and emotion that comes from me and comes from others, and it can be developed. The reason I can be so passionate and so emotional is I've trained to develop strong passion and emotion and ability to handle
Yes.
emotions that are extremely difficult to handle. And the brain is an important part of it. So, and that's the physical spiritual connection. And when science discovers things about the brain, they may put it in scientific terms, but as a spiritual person, I can turn it around and see a spiritual side of it. Because the physical always has a spiritual side. And when you're looking at it from a spiritual side, it's not going to be the same as science, but
Yes.
it will work with science because the physical and the spiritual
Yes.
do work together.
They complement each other, they confirm each other, and also you can trust your gut. If you're not understanding something about why you can't get into the groove of changing and evolving into the spiritual understanding, you need to go into the grounding of your emotions. And then you need to find the fire that's gonna ignite that motivation to move you forward into the change and the physical things that you need to do to change, because it is action. Embrace it. There's no escape in the physical world that we're in. Spiritually, we have to be strong. We have to have reality based senses. Our fears are related to something spiritual and emotional. Dive into it. Don't make excuses and look at the reality of what it is.
And one of the things is that um, all the spirit that exists in this universe have a physical connection, I believe, because the physical is vital. The physical is good. It's important. It's what creates adventure. It's what makes um, the world really relevant. And so I feel it's very important to, if you're going to talk about afterlife or anything, you have to take into account how important it is to be connected to the physical, either being in a physical world or being a supporting spirit to the physical world while you're not in the physical world.
Yes, it gets dangerous about talking about the afterlife spiritually, of what is going to happen in the afterlife, when we need to look at what we're doing right here, right now. Yes, of course, fine, the afterlife, great, wonderful. But the actions that are going to get us and make us survive in the spiritual environment is the actions and the physical things that we take control of in our lives for that change, for that movement, for the directions of understanding contrast.
And one of the things is if you're doing that, which you're doing the training and you're doing healthy habits that will make your future in this life better, it's going to carry over wherever you go
Yeah.
beyond this life, meaning the future just continues. It's not going to be some kind of thing where you get something for nothing. There's going to be a continuation. So if you do well spiritually right now and you develop the ability to handle an awful lot of challenges, which what the physical provides, then it's going to go with you wherever you go. Now, you don't necessarily know where you're going to go. And I mean, there's so many possibilities physically within this vast universe that one could deal with. But the main thing is you have to understand that as you deal with the physical and the spiritual right here and now,
Yeah.
it will take care of your future. So the main thing is to do the most with the situation you're dealing with right now, and try to enable that the future you're developing will be a better one.
Yes. And sometimes, in life, you might know something that somebody else doesn't. Those spiritual things that you might have picked up and learned do carry on. But as we grow, the lessons get harder, the lessons get tougher, they get to the point of changing your perception is going to be necessary to get through the spiritual intensities. And don't be afraid of that. Push forward when you think that you are going to fall.
And I mean, we live in a very challenging world with very serious problems. So there are big challenges that you can take on. And
Yes.
taking on these challenges and contributing to this world will make you valuable wherever you go in the future. And
Yes.
being valuable as a spirit, as a spiritual being, is extremely valuable. It's goodwill. It's the type of energy that will always serve you well wherever you go in the future if you have that ability to contribute and solve problems and help others to be inspired to solve problems.
Yes. And use what you can in the knowledge of the spiritual that you pick up in the actions and the physical examples that you can do through you, by you, as you.
I So the main thing about this video is with the physical spiritual connection is that telling people that the physical is good, that its challenges are good, and that adventures that come with it are good, and you need to embrace it and make the most of it, and not be saying, "Oh, it's too rough, it's too hard." No, I am tough. I have character. I can handle this. I can take it on. I just need the right kind of training, and it will happen. Just like an athlete doing this training. If I do the right kind of training, I can do amazing things, and that's what you can do in the
Yes.
spiritual. Do that type of training.
Yes. Don't escape from the spiritual toughness that the world is.
So I think we pretty well covered the subject of the physical spiritual connection.
Yes.
This is Positive Vibes Enterprise. Thank you very much.
Thank you.